Race number 5 is Perth, number 11 for our Singapore viewers. It's the Perth Stakes, a listed race over 1,100 metres. Scheduled to commence at 3:35. We see the very impressive Lucky Street. We also see London Liner, which beat Chansky, which we both tipped in the previous race. Yeah. And Push and Shapes as well, another last start winner. So those three, all winning in their last starts, all got plenty of potential.
Oh, absolutely. This is probably the highlight of the day for me. This is an outstanding race. So many good chances. You mentioned the number 1 Lucky Street. Well, it couldn't be any more impressive in the Magic Millions.
No, and that's the first replay that we're going to take a look at. Won by 2.5 lengths. As you said, a very impressive performance. Take a look at the closing stages now.
At the 300, Chansky by 4, Senzo. Shady on the outside, then Lucky Street starts to run on. 200 metres left to go. Chansky in front. Lucky Street is starting to put the giant strides in now. Lucky Street gobbled up Chansky. Races to the lead. Pulls away. He's too good, the favourite, Lucky Street. Flying home late. Light up the sky. Grabs second in the middle. And Dicky and Orbit the Sun fought out third from Diamond to Neat.
It was a devastating performance by Lucky Street. Equally was Push and Shapes on debut. Couldn't get clear. The finish was outstanding once there. We can have a look at its replay on the 21st of February at Ascot.
Jewel snuck a length on What Did You Do, just trying to hold a Murio in. Here comes Push and Shapes, though, with a turn of acceleration. Boy, look at Push and Shapes. It races up, quickly dispenses with Putri Jewel with 100 left to go from a Murio, then one off the wood, but Push and Shapes in an auspicious debut. Wins it about length and a half to a Murio, or on the inside, Putri Jewel. Now, Twinklify from further back, run on into 4th spot from one off the wood.
So Push and Shapes, a nice win there. Showed a greenness. Alan Kennedy riding that day, Jared Noski to ride on Saturday. So looking forward to seeing how this galloper goes. And I think we'll get a real gauge of where it's at after this race. Now, we're only new to the program here, but I think this is your first really big layer of the card so far. Lucky Street is definitely going to be favourite. We saw the replay there. Won by 2.5 lengths. You don't have it in your 4. Off you go.
No, I guess...
Give us the reasons.
Madness, to start with. Look, I just think last start it had every advantage. And I think if you take that run and put it 3 wide, it may not even win that race. And that's where I have it in my speed map. I don't see any position for Lucky Street unless he's really proactive to get forward. Even then, he'll be just in behind the 11, Move On Notice. Look, this is certainly a huge chance. My prices, I essentially have it 3rd pick, but I just have to take a set against it because I think there's some really big improvers in this race, Adam.
Okay, so there's Lucky Street. I do have it on top for that, but I'm always worried when you chuck in a lay like that. So number 1, Lucky Street, we'll wait and see how it goes. The one that we do both agree on, number 2, London Line. You just know what you get with this animal. It's honest, it's tough, and it fights all the way to the line. Yeah,
all 4 runs have been outstanding. We'll get a great lead in the previous race through Chansky, so that you don't have to make your decision straight away with the London Line. If Chansky's impressive the previous race, then perhaps that will trump the form lines through London Line.
Now, the one I'm really interested to get your thoughts on, number 11, Move On Notice for Simon Miller. Peter Knuckey to ride is drawn very nicely, lightweight. Was super impressive, winning a trial by 8 lengths recently as well. Tell us where you think this is going to go, and I know you've got it on top.
Yeah, I just think the way this race shape will pan out, I think if Move On Notice gets to the front, and if the others are back in the field, especially Lucky Street 3 wide, I think it will pinch too much of a break because what I saw in the trial, its natural speed was outstanding. It cost $250,000. It's the half to Flying Sebring for Chris Waller and stablemate Bailey's Find. And this looks like the best of the lot to me. Drawn very well. I think Move On Notice can lead and win this race.
I'm expecting to see some serious money come from the Miller stable for this horse as well later. Selections 4, race number 5, the Perth Stakes over 1,100 metres. I'm going with number 1, Lucky Street. From number 2, London Line, throwing in number 6, Push and Shape, so the last 3 winners. And then number 11, Move On Notice for the reasons that Ian just mentioned there.
Yeah, sticking with the 11, Move On Notice. On top from number 2, London Line, putting in the 6, Push and Shapes in for 3rd, and I think a really big improver is number 4, Fremond, with the blinkers going on. 11, 2, 6 and 4.
Race number 6 is Perth, race number 12 for our Singapore viewers. Another listed race over the 1,800 metres. It's a Sweps JC Roberts Stakes, but I've got a feeling it should be called the Sweps Williams Stakes. 5 runners here for Grant Williams, and I tell you, all of them you could throw out for reasons.
Yeah, absolutely. Such a talented bunch of horses. He just dominates a 3-year-old season, Bob Peters and Grant Williams, so no exception here. Battle Hero last start, that was brilliant.
Well, Pikey, he'd always get his choice. He's decided to go with Battle Hero, and no surprise at all after the win in the listed Piper. Let's take a look at the replay of that victory now.
And then came Tonto, who's sweeping down the outside with its run now. And further back is Say Geronimo inside the 250. Battle Hero, the outside, and Palace Intruder. They're having a great battle from Say Geronimo coming home late now. Battle Hero, the leader. Say Geronimo can't get to Battle Hero. Then Tonto and Battle Hero. Battle Hero's a pretty smart horse. He won 3/4 Say Geronimo. One away third, Tonto, a half special delivery.
Outstanding win by Battle Hero. They're really flexible on speed, essentially controlled that race. Another galloper we can look at now is Bowler Duzra, an outstanding run last start. It's certainly progressive, isn't it? We can have a look at its replay on the 4th of March.
Pet leads the way from Greater Impact as he winds up Bowler Duzra, and Fashion Ford also starts to lengthen down the outside. Poet's Tail runs on. It's Penthouse Pep with 150 to go, but Bowler Duzra really starting to put his mind on the task. Gets the upper hand, pulls away. Fashion Ford battling, but Bowler Duzra, although hard ridden, too good for Penthouse Pep. Fashion Ford probably clinched third in front of either Poet's Tail or Boutique.
Really impressive win there by Bowler Duzra. It looked as though it wanted to get out. It was just cantering along through the early stages.
Yeah.
Drops 2.5 kilos from that run as well. And GERONIMO quite keen on this animal. So interested to see how it goes in this company. We both tipped number 4 Battle Hero on top. Listening to William Pike after the last start victory, which the replay that we saw, really likes this horse and thinks it's got a big potential and big upside.
Yeah, look, it's really flexible with its racing pattern. I think that's a big advantage. From barrier 5, it can get forward in that position of control. And I think towards the end of the race, it really got its stride in control. It seemed to run out that distance really strongly, and I think further up to the 1800 metres, I think Battle Hero will be even harder to beat.
Pretty impressive as well, from a maiden to a 52 to 64, then winning a listed piper, and now might be the chance of winning the Sweps JC Roberts Stakes as well. So very, very impressive, but we've seen Peters and Williams and Pike combination do this a few times, so nothing surprises there. 2 horses that we both agreed upon and thrown in our 4, and number 1 Palace Intruder and number 3 Say Geronimo. Palace Intruder last start had absolutely no luck at all in the running, was caught wide and forced to do things that probably didn't plan to do early, and number 3 Say Geronimo, you just know what you're going to get, another honest performance.
Yeah, that's right. Palace Intruder, I think, certainly proven at the 1800 metres, has won a listed race at that level. Paul Harvey gets on board. Good barrier. It was caught 3 wide last start. We can dismiss that run. It really should have been improving a lot in this race. Number 3 Say Geronimo, you know my thoughts. I really thought it should have gone forward last start, and I think it cost it the race. Its finish was outstanding, but it just gave Battle Hero too much of a head start. Knowing that, I think the pattern they've established now is Say Geronimo, the further it goes in distance, the further it will sit back. So I think it's much for the others. We'll
be certainly interested to see how it attacked the line. Selections for the Sweps to JC Roberts Stakes. I'm going with number 4 Battle Hero. From number 1 Palace Intruder. Throwing in number 2 Tonto. The form lines behind Disposition, Palace Intruder, Neverland and Battle Hero all read well. And the 1800 metres I think is a big tick as well. And then number 3 Say Geronimo. Putting the 4 Battle Hero on top from number 8 Special Delivery. I thought it was a great run last start. Number 1 Palace Intruder and the 3 Say Geronimo. Race number 7, it's Perth, race number 13 for our Singapore viewers. Another listed race and another cracker again. As we said, we are very lucky with this card. We're going to see some really competitive races, and I'm really excited again to see Delicacy taking on Neverland. Last start we picked it, we went Delicacy over Neverland. I know we've swapped it this start, but let's take a look at the replay last start where Delicacy, ridden by Peter Hall, was able to win. Jungle Mac in front of Vital Art Delicacy. It's been a magnificent ride by Hall. He sneaked through and dashed to the lead and is looking good. Inside the 200, Delicacy raced away from Jungle Mac. Binky Toy down the outside, Neverland and Keysbrook rocketing home as well. But it is all Delicacy. A magnificent win in the 1,000 guineas, and Delicacy by 4. Neverland second, 1 3/4 away third, Keysbrook. Just obliterated the opposition, didn't it, Delicacy? It was such a great ride by Peter Hall. We're looking at this race, trying to establish what's going to happen here up to the 2,200 metres, and what I'm fairly confident about is the race will not be run the same way, Adam. I don't know how you feel. Yeah, I'm with you there, and I just think for me that suits Neverland. I think it's got a nice turn of foot, and the further the distance goes, it's going to be able to run over top of these. Yeah, I completely agree. I really think this is one of the best bets of the day. I think the field will bunch up, and that will give Neverland a closer run in transit. We'll have less ground to pick up. I think Delicacy will be on speed. I just think Neverland will really get over the top of it. I think it's more adept at this distance. Okay, so we both do have Neverland on top. We've got Delicacy in our 4 as well. Another horse that we both agreed upon is number 10, Sheerkat, for Michael Grant. Joseph AZZOPARDI is going to ride, but what we've seen from this horse is the further it goes, the further it runs on strongly. Yeah, attack on the line is incredibly impressive. Comes into this with the 54, which is the equal lowest that it will ever carry. I think this is capable of doing this. I think its natural talent is probably a bit off Neverland and Delicacy, but
we haven't seen the best of it yet, so that could come on Saturday.
Certainly an exciting time, and yeah, looking forward to seeing how SHEERKAT goes in this run. Selections for race number 7, as we said, the listed Natasha Stakes over 2,200 metres. Going with number 2, Neverland, from number 1, Delicacy. Throwing in number 10, SHEERKAT, and then I've thrown in number 12, SHINTA Money. Has got to do a lot of work to improve on the likes of Delicacy and Neverland, but I thought a very nice performance with a tough run last start.
It was a good attack on the line, just was forced to go forward and then weakened in the final stages. I'm going the 2, Neverland, on top from number 4, Liberty Rise. I think this can win this. I really do get a feeling at him. Number 1, Delicacy, and number 10, SHEERKAT.
Race number 8, it's Perth. Race number 14 for our Singapore viewers. It's over the 1,400 metres and it's scheduled to commence at 5:25. Now, some really good runners in this field, and we've tipped a few higher up, but the bottom 4 runners are just the ones that we'll intro in. The likes of Singing Skies, we've seen win with lightweight. Thunderclap Newman back to some good form. Sanctitude went forward again like it did in its first start this campaign and looked much better. Balboa, the old one that just sucks me back in, has got the lightweight with the claim, and I'm back in there again.
It's pulled me into it as well, but they all have to get past the rejuvenated 9, Thunderclap Newman. Its first up run was good behind She's a Virtue, but it certainly trumped that. Its second up run was outstanding. We can have a look at that replay on the 4th of March at Ascot.
300 long overdue, headed our Road Trader, pushing out now Thunderclap Newman from Fabulistic. Say What behind those, big setup running on Moment of Love and Jestic, but Thunderclap Newman approaching the 100, drew about a neck, a half a length, now 3/4 on long overdue, and Thunderclap Newman, he came away from them. Thunderclap Newman returns to the winners list. He beat long overdue, Jestic 3rd from Moment of Love 4th in.
As you mentioned, a really good win there by Thunderclap Newman. Looks to be a completely different horse, or the horse we know it can be. And Paula Wag training really well. Sean O'Donnell, that combination we've mentioned in this program already. What are you expecting from it in this race?
Look, if it maintains its form, it'll be incredibly hard to beat. Has those form lines alongside our Brucey Bonus. And let's be fair, the opposition here, they're mixing their form at the moment. And I think Thunderclap Newman at 56 kilograms can beat them. But there's one I like outside of it, Adam.
Okay, what one is that?
That's number 3, Just Dougie. I don't know what it is about this. It's carrying the 59 kilograms, which is certainly no advantage for what it's done in its career. But I really like that last win, and sectionally rated really strongly. I think it can win this.
Okay, so throwing in number 3, Just Dougie. We both got it in there. You've got it on top. I've thrown it in my 4 as well. Another horse that we've both thrown in is number 6, Military Might. A great record at the distance. 7 attempts, 3 victories, also 2/3. And with Jake Casey riding, just the 55 kilos.
It was a great run last start. It was caught 3 wide and did a great job to hang on to 3rd. It wilted in the final stages, but it was still really strong, all things considered.
Now, we mentioned number 9, Thunderclap Newman. We both had that in the last one. Number 11, Balboa. I continue to say I won't back this horse, but I continually get sucked in. And with Jordan Turner riding, it means just 51.5 kilos. And when you look at the form lines behind Moon Search with the 54 and also Carry the Nation with 55, on paper, it should probably win this race.
Well, it is the weight special in the race. We look at gallopers like the 1 Beatorio and 5 Diversicolor, which will certainly be in the betting in this race. Balboa picks up 4 kilograms on them for very competitive racing, being alongside them in all of those. It will get back, but with the 51.5 kilograms, if he can swoop, I think it can win this.
Okay, so maybe an each-way play to finish off the day. Selections for the final race of the day. I am going with number 9, Thunderclap Newman. From number 11, Balboa. Number 6, Military Might. And number 3, Just Dougie.
Same for number 3, Just Dougie on top from 9, Thunderclap Newman, putting in the 11, Balboa in for 3rd, and for 4th, number 6, Military Might.
Well, that brings us to our end of another edition of Box Seats, and brilliant racing, as I'm sure you just saw with the previews and the replays there. Really excited about this card, and let's just hope the weather isn't too bad that it throws in too many curveballs and ruins some of our form lines. But the best bets are on the screen as we speak now, and I'm going with race number 5, number 1, Lucky Street, and race 7, number 2, Neverland.
I'm going with race 1, number 1, Jute, to get it out of the way early, and finishing home strong with race 8, number 3, Just Dougie, is an each-way special.
Very nice way to finish there if that gets up there by Ian Lenton. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms, at Perth Racing on Twitter. You get all of the late mail and any information from course as well. Facebook, facebook.com/Perth Racing, all the event information. Of course, St. Paddy's Day is this Saturday on course, so it's going to be a great environment there, and plenty of events coming up through the Autumn Racing Carnival. Instagram at Perth Racing, tag us in there. We'd love to see your pictures, and as well you can go to our website www.perthracing.com.au. Of course, your articles will be up there after the racing, all of the events and every bit of information you can require.
Absolutely. Pleasure doing this, Adam.
Been very good. Another week, hopefully a few more winners. We'll be back again next week.
Indeed. Good luck.